Welcome to another day where we get ever so slightly closer to our dream, our goal, our way of reconnecting with family, potentially. Travelling to the Antarctic isn't exactly all fun and games, and as we're seeing here, actually finding a competent expedition willing to take you is quite a bit of trouble, even if you do have money. But what I do enjoy about this is the fact we do have a slight friendship, slice of life kind of thing, with some relatively heavy stakes considering the kind of genre. Missing family members and all that. Well, and of course the potential freezing to death. But if you are new to the channel, I hope you enjoy, and remember to check out the full uncensored versions if that takes your fancy. Links are in the description, I think, for Patreon and whatnot. But for now, grab yourself a drink and let's see just how much closer the girls get to their destination. How much more cardio is involved. Gotta love that statue. Is that, considering it's heat waves and sweat everywhere, I'm guessing that wasn't puddles on the ground, but the kind of mirage we're seeing from when the conditions hit just right. And personally, I absolutely hate that shit when I'm out driving. I don't enjoy driving on the best of times, so... When we've got a story like this, you know, they're traveling to Antarctica, you kind of want them to hurry up and get to the main point, but I think jumping in too much will just be too many episodes of exactly what we all know Antarctica to be like. So this initial setup and taking it slow, getting to know the characters and how they kind of mesh with one another, or not, as it may turn out to be. But as someone that hasn't really been out of my country in a while, I do want to go on a bit of a trip somewhere at some point. That poor cat. It's a bit too hot for everyone. It's only May, so therefore... Are they treating her like a slave now? Kind of fair that there's some sort of comeuppance for the antics of the last time, but... They've only just really met, isn't it? A bit... Oh. Well, if it's possible for someone out there, why can't they jump on that? Aha. I mean, being famous opens a lot of doors, but... Well, she immediately goes onto the internet to find out and grab as much information as possible. She's so, full of bluster and energy until it comes to actually having to do something herself. How fortuitous of someone just to walk by at this time. The coincidences know no bounds. Seems familiar, doesn't it? You know, speak of the devil and all that. Was she left out in the cold? In the cold, in the heat, but huh. But if it's just for them and their personal things, is that fine? Must be exhausting to be. I think they'll be up for that. And why'd she jump on her first as though she was the most likely? Uh-huh. I mean, she's been... fair. But even if she's like, yeah, hang on, this is a bit of an odd assignment. Why would you tell me to go? Don't even like the gold. I mean, the option is there, but it all works out somehow. But I mean, the offer is there, but has this girl actually informed anyone yet of the intention to back out of the trip? Then she's off straight away. I see there's a traitor amongst the midst. She doesn't want anything to do with her. Like, looking off into... I think I knew who was pushing her to get into this show business and whatnot. There we go. She's not going to let this, opportunity leave her when it's so close. She's exuding confidence at no bounds. Where's that joy that she had before she stubbed her toe? True. Now can you just kind of merge somewhere in the middle? Ooh. Fun comedy routine they've got, but still too busy for us, I saw, but so from that, I'm getting that she wants a normal life. Bored of the cold from Hokkaido or whatnot. She's a celebrity, can't have photos with people, just wants normal friendships and whatnot. I get parents really pushing. There's another No Game in Life. Parents pushing their children to do something great, but there is going to be a limit. There's I mean, you got a business card. Congratulations, but Huh. So she still has to go, but at least there's an opportunity for them to tag along there. So you'll just have to trap her and convince her in that time? Right now? She's not going to be able to... She's not going to be able to relax after getting this close, is she? It's going to be a difficult one to convince her. Not only the fact that, it's against her kind of wishes, just wanting to do something normal for a change, but also ultimate risks and all that. I do feel as though there is, as we've seen with the character, an easy out or a way in, I guess. Of this girl wanting just, a normal time and having friends and having time for people. That's an easy way to get her on board there. I don't know if that's the best way to start it off. She is a living prophet, a great philosopher right there. With her rice ball t-shirt. And like I said before, I do like how muted a lot of the... I do like how muted a lot of the colours are. And, for instance, this classroom being quite desaturated and grim, despite the backlighting of the characters. I mean, just use your previous experience of jumping out in front of a crowd. At least there was no fancy poses or anything this time. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, if they put it to actually getting to the crux of her issues there, but of course, ignore all of the issues. Penguins. Maybe they just came out and said, yes, that is exactly it. However... Okay. Yeah, now she shut herself off. But just like her reason of not to go, if we have someone who's very adamant on going... With that... I mean, saying it matter-of-factly like that... So they formed their own cliques and groups while she was pulled out. Oh, don't worry, you have plenty of arguments with them around. To get to the point where even just having disagreements with people as being something that you can kind of long for. However, that time never... That time never came. And yeah, rules of engagement and whatnot, you're not allowed photos. I mean, we've seen it in other shows. Breaking down the social barriers and getting into a friend group when you're the new person, kind of difficult. Or not even new person, just you've always been there. Just actually no, we just met like 4 days ago. I think they've kind of really speedrun this whole now we spend all our time together kind of thing. Eh. So now they've had that little heart to heart, a little talk there. Don't think that, any convincing was going on, but definitely given her kind of confidence in there's possibilities if they haven't even known each other for very long. So it's win-win. There's no issue. This is gonna take a while for her to work out. Yep. Why would they just agree to some random kid? At least she sees things pragmatically. What? Some physical contact? Actually, yeah, physical contact. She'll be remembering that moment long into her 40s. The fact that, they actually said, sure, we're here on ulterior motives, but we still want to know what you feel or why you feel it. Are they throwing rocks at the window? Ha! The hell is where did they get a ladder? And why is it suddenly so windy? The weather was quite clement before. Her hair seemed to have grown just then. Or is this a dream sequence? Yeah, pull her out of the window. That seems like firm footing and whatnot in the middle of a typhoon. Pfft. Let's hope you prepared some sort of... Ah, okay, good, yes. Whew. Don't have to worry about concussions or brain trauma. But now we know that all she needs is that little push. She's not one to back down from it if they actually came for her. No messages, nothing. Oh. Oh, wow. That's a bit of a rejection, isn't it? So, alright, fine. Going from a slightly sweet dream where she has kind of a bit of escapism to that. I don't think that sounded like ladders on a window this time. Where did they get her hotel room from? Proper number for it or not? So they are, yeah, they're like barnacles or leeches. You're never getting rid of them now. Well, there we go. Just when she had kind of steeled her heart to resolve herself that she'll be in this quandary for a while, they break her down like this. What have you done to her? This will be all over the newspapers. Bullying a child actress like this. But to have that reaction to even just the minorest of kind of invitations and pleasantries, you can tell just how much this that lifestyle was pressuring her. So, new lease on life now. And now it seems as though it's her idea as well, not that the mother came up with that option. They're taking one home as a pet. Get some research in. Yep. Let's hope the expedition itself is actually funded pretty well if they've got a minor celebrity along for the ride. Yep. I'd be worried a lot more than just a runny nose, but sure. The fact that she's so awkward even in like photos like this. There's more than just one of them who hasn't had friends properly. Mm-hmm. There was meant to be visible the aurora. The aurora was meant to be visible here a while ago, but it was quite overcast on the days when it was meant to have been happening, so I missed it. Unfortunately. Also, I think I was just slightly too far down south. But now having an entirely different meaning behind that phrase. And before it's she could die and no one would really care, her life wouldn't change all too much. Now it's she could die happy. She's got the startings of what she wanted. I do like elements of that where you've got just a different outlook and renewed faith in the universe and fate itself. But one thing that has been brought up here, the fact they have only known each other for less than a month, and yet they're going on this kind of life-changing journey and pushing themselves quite far. As we heard, she's never had an argument with anyone, let alone even had friends, so I'm sure there's plenty of time for this, as I mentioned before. Just having the somewhere as intense as the Antarctic, they'll get to hate each other quite soon. for a silly little show about going to the Antarctic, I didn't expect kind of such heavy topics to be in the forefront of several of the beginning episodes. You've got missing childhoods and the pressure being put onto child actors and celebrities. You've got missing family members, those that have presumably perished in faraway places. And a kind of longing to do something with your life and probably pushing yourself a little too far, and whatever may fall out of that. And of course a little bit of bringing things down into reality. The fact, there's probably going to be very few journeys and expeditions which just allow high school students to just attend and come along with them. But how far is this girl now going to go to maintain this friendship? The very first one that she's actually managed to kind of have, where they seem actually invested and not willing to take no as an answer. But I definitely it didn't go amiss that her world, and the fact that immediately after they came up to her door in the hotel, whoever gave out that information is going to need talking to, but immediately after that, and they went out into Tokyo, all the colours that I were previously missing from the classroom, etc., they were forefront and centre. That museum was bustling. And if that's how it is for the rest of the series, then it should be good. Like I said, I do like the idea of just dumb friends doing dumb things as a concept for a show, but then layer in a little bit of dumb friends doing dumb things in a potentially life or death situation and environment with actual stakes involved. Now you've got my interest. And I've forgotten how many episodes are in this season. I'm going to guess it's around the standard 12. And we're quarter of the way through. Finally, it seems as though we've got the main 4 members of the group. Guess all that's left is to pack. So they've got some extra layers and jumpers ready. But this has been an interesting episode. I do like, as I said, the ups and downs of it all, the very humanization of the characters. And how are we going to see Australia? I mean, there's meant to be a stop-off, so... Next episode after. Let's keep our hopes up. How excited will they be to see an actual penguin? At least I don't have to worry about polar bears, since that's, the other side of the globe. But enjoy yourselves. I hope I entertained you. If that is the case, let me know. Leave a like and a comment on the video. Consider subscribing so you don't miss out future episodes. You can join onto my Discord for the same notifications whenever a new episode does drop, or conversations and memes and maybe the occasional poll. But for now, get some rest. Don't dream of any defenestration. I'll see you in the next one.